Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN Television News. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
I'm reaching my dreams with GUT. They're the ones for me. I'm reaching my dreams with GUT. They're the ones for me. Since 1983, they've been serving the country, and we like all their financing, giving the people what they want, what they need, what they love. Come and join the family that's here for you all the way. From birth to graduation, your first job to your home, and your car through your golden years.
The GT Credit Union has been actively supporting nation building through its many sponsorships and programs including financial literacy quiz, Pass the Torch Calypso program, junior cooperatives in secondary schools, CPEA, and the TAMCC grants. The credit union has helped many people make their dreams come true. Let them help you with yours. You don't have to be a teacher to be a member. So what are you waiting for?
GUT Credit Union, it's where you belong.
This is the GBN Television News for today, Wednesday, June 10th, 2020. I'm Beverly Telesford.
And I'm Odette Campbell. Coming up in the news this evening, NIS blames some delinquent employers for employees' inability to access unemployment benefits.
If you want to serve in the cabinet, be prepared to be shifted around. The word from the man sitting at the head of the cabinet table.
And Grenada's Prime Minister supports calls for justice, but he condemns violence and vandalism.
Street vendors told to pack up, lock up, and leave, or their goods will be confiscated and they will be charged.
And the local environmentalist questions whether the almighty dollar should trump environmental protection.
And cocoa farmers won't have to worry about a drop in price.
Coming up in sports this evening, West Indies player tests negative for coronavirus before leaving Antigua for Manchester.
And in around the globe, suspected suicide on cruise ship docked off Barbados.
We'll bring you the details of those and other stories right after this message.
Hi, I'm Francis Urias Peters. I'm a good listener, and K105 has always been a great source of education and entertainment. Now, while the station name may have changed over the years, it has always provided valuable information which enabled me as a playwright to document and to celebrate our history, our behavior, and our achievements. K105 is my choice. It's the national station.
Welcome to the news at 7. First off this evening, you may go to the NIS and find that there's no unemployment benefit waiting there for you. That's probably because your employer may not have done what is required. The NIS says it's processing claims, but there have been some stumbling blocks. Rena Pay has been asking the NIS Public Relations Officer about the progress being made thus far.
Employer delinquency has made it difficult or impossible for some people to collect their unemployment benefits from the National Insurance Scheme. Lisa Douglas, Public Relations Officer at the scheme, says employees will call the office inquiring about their eligibility for the unemployment assistance benefit, only to learn that their contributions are not up to date, which disqualifies them from receiving the $330.
It's a situation where we've realized that a lot of employees are now coming forward to state that my employer was deducting my contributions and it wasn't being paid, or cases where the employer wasn't deducting at all and the person now wants the claim but no contribution payments have been made on their behalf. So non-compliance is raising its head right now, and we are encouraging employees, check your contribution status. It's very important to ensure that your contributions are being paid. If you have any documentations, for example, pay slips and envelopes with information regarding your salary or any sort of documentation, you should walk with it so we could take a copy of it. That would help with our information investigation, you should be able to provide us the period in which you were employed, your employer, your salary information, and we will do the necessary.
Douglas is also asking Grenadians who have unique situations to call or email the NIS for assistance to find the best solution to the situation.
One of the issues that we are facing, though, are complaints from some employees that their employers are not completing the application form on their behalf. So we are encouraging employers to please go online on the NIS website, complete the application on behalf of your employee. If you need assistance, please call us. We would gladly help you and guide you through the process.
For GBN News, I am Rena Pear reporting.
Now, if you want to serve in the cabinet, be prepared to be shifted around. That's the word from the man who sits at the head of the cabinet table. His comments come as reports make the rounds that a cabinet reshuffle is imminent.
Not long from now, maybe another month or two, we'll see the major changes that I spoke about. Those that have been in ministry for over 5 years or more, I think I think that's enough time to move on to somewhere else.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell said that his ministerial portfolio is not exempted from changes as he plans a major cabinet reshuffle. During an interview with broadcaster Zeret Macmillan on Carib Update Channel, Prime Minister Mitchell said his ministers of cabinet were put on notice.
The truth is, I had signaled to my cabinet colleagues before COVID that there would be a major reshuffle. If you check my history, you would see that every time we have been in government, a particular 5-year period, midway through government, we have, in fact, had a reshuffling of portfolios. And my own view of this is if no one person should be in any ministry for any prolonged period of time as if they belong in that ministry and no other place. I have a fundamental philosophy. If you're in anything, whether it's business, politics, sports, if you're not looking to improve consistently, then you're going to be in trouble.
The Prime Minister said his belief is that people should be prepared to have a wide range of experiences on the operations of different ministries. He also addressed the recent change in ministerial portfolio, which saw former Minister for Tertiary Education, Pamela Moses, moved to his office.
But we had a serious problem at the National College, which is creating major problems for the government. I think it was unfair to the new minister to have to take on something which has been historic throughout successive governments. Both NNP and NDC failed to deal with that problem at National College, where there's a runaway system of management and lack of accountability, which is affecting our students and affecting the country as a whole. And I met the minister and said, look, it's not fair to you. So we asked as a new minister, we made a change, we recommended the Governor General, and that appointment took effect from yesterday.
Regarding his planned retirement from frontline politics, Prime Minister Mitchell says he is preparing for his departure. He told Macmillan the changes in cabinet is his way of letting people show their leadership skills, which is key to his planned retirement.
I will not be imposing anybody on the country. I want to make it very clear. People speculate, they say things, they do things. People have to demonstrate. The person who gets that position after I leave would be someone or person that demonstrate the ability to, on their own, to deal with the problems of the country.
Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
While keeping an eye on his cabinet, the Prime Minister has also been monitoring world developments. Recent protests in the United States and other countries have occupied his attention in the last week and a half.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell shared his views on the ongoing protest in the United States of America following the death of American black citizen George Floyd. Dr. Mitchell was speaking with broadcaster Zeret Macmillan on Carib Update Channel.
It hurts. I have been having great difficulty watching that video with the gentleman begging for his life. That's the sort of thing that it would get anybody's upset. And therefore one understands the passion which the people of America, and the good thing about it, I must say, is that I've seen so many different races of persons showing great opposition and strong feelings about what took place. It's not just a black-white. This is not just a black-white issue. Issue of a human being being dealt unfairly. In this case, the black people have been dealt unfairly.
Dr. Mitchell admits that while there is racism of different forms, American leadership must examine its soul in the context of its history and the problems that exist, and suggest that the U.S. face it squarely and make the necessary changes. However, he's not in support of vandalism and violence.
I just don't, my own view, I don't think that the demonstrations are very important and sends the right message, but this destruction of property and the violence, to me, hurts the cause. And those who clearly are doing it cannot be the real persons behind the demonstrations. I would say over 97% of the people who are demonstrating are showing the right attitude and going forward. But there, of course, a minority of persons. In every society, you find that. When Ivan occurred here, while people suffering, some were looting, there's always that element in every society. Unfortunately, they sometimes skew the message, and that's the part that worries me.
Joseph Kador, GBN News.
A question of what really applies. Are we entitled to stay or should we be out? That's the question that some market vendors would like to have answered. They have been telling their story to GBN's Chrislina John.
Pick up, lock up and leave, or else your goods will be confiscated and you will be charged. That's the threat some vendors occupying these spaces in downtown St. George's say they received from some police officers. The vendors say they were told they cannot sell on the sidewalk, which is not the case. They are calling on the relevant authority to provide clarity as they are a bit confused. This vendor, who opted to speak off camera, says it's 2 years since she has been plying her trade on that spot.
In that 2 years, we had issues with the officers saying that we're vending on the sidewalk. And we've been debating with them that we're not vending on the sidewalk. We're in a building. We're not hamburging the sidewalk in any way. We're not causing any issue towards the sidewalk. And we were told recently, as of today, that we needed to shut down. I think it's unfair to me that I have to close my only income source. I'm a single parent, and this is how I feed my family. Without this, I have no job. Look at the time we're in. There is no work to be gotten. It's hardly making any money at the week because the economy is low. And to tell me that I cannot feed my kids because you think I'm vending on the sidewalk when I'm in a building paying rent for my building, it is unfair to me. Goods will be confiscated and we will be charged.
This other vendor say she cannot understand how they can be paying a rent for a building and are now being told they are on the sidewalk.
I don't know what is the problem. We normally sell here. We paying a rent for here. And this is where we sell it. And the police just came and tell us lock up, we can't sell. So when the police come, we have to be locked in, and then when they're gone, we got to be opening. I don't know what is the problem. We paying a rent for here, and we cannot sell out here. What is this? Not the first time, and it's only one police does that. This is not the first time. One of the guys tell me, the police guy tell her this morning that she could sell, don't have nothing too much a thing here. And then another policeman come and tell her she have to lock up. Paying a rent here, and I would like that we must be able to sell. Because we paying a rent, it makes sense. We paying a rent and we cannot sell. It doesn't make no sense. We are renting.
GBN sought some clarity from head of the Community Relations Department, Superintendent Vanny Cohen, but was told he was unavailable at the time. Chrislina John, GBN News.
Thanks, Chris, for that report. This is News at 7. Coming up, barbers and beauticians counting the costs left in the wake of COVID-19, but they're happy to be back in business. And a local environmentalist is questioning whether it should be preservation or the almighty dollar. We'll have that and more when we come back. Stay with us.
Dear customer, please help us limit the potential impact of COVID-19. If you have cold, flu, or COVID-19 symptoms, please postpone your visit to Grenlec and ask someone you trust to do your business for you. We recommend using online banking to make payments, available through Co-op Bank, Republic Bank, and FCIB. You can also use check drop boxes at each of our locations. For bill balances and other information, call 237. For additional support, email customersupport@grenlec.com. If you choose to visit, you may have to wait outside because of the social distancing requirements. Our service may be slow, so please be patient with us. Have your account number handy to expedite service. Wishing you, your family, and employees health and wellness at this time. Our superheroes are all among us. They don't wear capes nor have superpowers. In fact, they appear to be quite ordinary. They are the ones who provide us with food. They are our farmers, our grocery store workers, our vendors. They are our fishermen. They are the ones who heal us, our doctors and medical practitioners. They are the ones who protect us, our police officers. They are all the other essential workers who make this period bearable. And how can we forget our teachers, dedicated to educating our children no matter the circumstance? To everyone who is doing their part to make sure the wheel keeps turning, Ariza says, thank you.
Paying is faster and easier with Flow FastPay. Use your MasterCard or Visa and pay from anywhere. Log on to discoverflow.co/fastpay and press Consumer. Select your country and enter your account number. Enter the amount to be paid and an email address. Enter your credit card information. You'll receive a payment confirmation with the transaction details, along with a receipt to your email address. It's fast, safe, and easy. Flow, keeping you connected.
It's new, innovative and classy, and a cut above the rest. Your one-stop shop for bathtubs, kitchenette, customized doors and windows, and even a new paint job. We also sell quartz and solid surface countertops. At M&N Hardware, we offer best prices, excellent service, efficiency, and reliability. Visit us at Dusty Highway, Grandin, St. George, or call telephone number 440-6757. M&N Hardware, from foundation to roof. Let's build together.
There's a reason we have been here to serve you for the past 40 years. A reason we have continued to grow. A reason we have continued to celebrate. That reason is you. We have been here to help you plan for your future and here to help you celebrate your achievements. We continue to be here, even when the future seems unclear. Because one thing is certain, you're the reason we care.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Tropical shipping is fast and reliable. Always on time, safe and affordable. Friendly staff here to connect you. Tropical worldwide, you must get you. Shop online and you get it on time. Hassle free to meet your deadline. Consolidate any size, any load with tropical shipping, so we ship everything. I can't wait to ship with tropical. I can't wait. No package too big, too small. I cannot wait to ship with tropical. No package too big, too small. Just ship with tropical.
Local agents, George F. Huggins and Company, Grenada Limited. A telephone number 440-8787, or visit our website at www.tropical.com. Email us at grenadasales@tropical.com. Tropical Shipping, committed to island life.
Moms are always special. We give them teddies, hugs, kisses, chocolates, perfumes, and jewelry. All the softer things in life. But for Father's Day, Roper offers 15% discount off all machines store-wide. Come in and choose your favorite machine and instantly get 15% off. Walk in style and walk out with a smile. This Father's Day. Sale starts June 15th and ends June 20th. Europa. We service what we sell.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
There's a reason we have been here to serve you for the past 40 years. A reason we have continued to grow. A reason we have continued to celebrate. That reason is you. We have been here to help you plan for your future and here to help you celebrate your achievements. We continue to be here even when the future seems unclear, because one thing is certain: you're the reason we care.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Welcome back. Life is being breathed back into a slew of local businesses. They were placed in a chokehold as a result of the coronavirus. And now we are finding that the universal halt to business activities have been released. Little by little, the government has been relaxing state of emergency rules and allowing more businesses and sectors to reopen. Beauticians, barbers, gyms and restaurants with in-dining services are among those which were recently given the green light to operate. Rena Pei has that story.
After remaining closed for over a month, most businesses have reopened their doors to the general public. Some business owners have complained that due to the pandemic, they have suffered significant financial loss during the lockdown. For most, it completely stopped their only source of income. We speak to Cullen, a barber at Natural Creations, to find out how it has been since the reopening.
Well, kind of rough, but as time go by, it can again better. As the boss start working here, you better enforce everything now. But it's just still kind of slow, because people, not all people is going back to work. All people going back to work, so you're kind of hard for them to like come in town transportation-wise, and they don't much trim now, because if they pass through a whole pandemic without trimming, they don't know it to go now, so they'll never trim until like they develop back, they sell back to go to. So.
Hairdressers Eva and Irva also stated that the new regulations have not really impacted their business, as some of the protocols were already part of their business operation prior.
As you know, we were under 2 months lockdown and we are back. So for me, it's like business as normal. It hasn't been a problem for us since before COVID, because we are accustomed working with appointments and all of that. And even with the 6 feet distance, it became easier for us because we are used to working by appointment already.
For GBN News, I am Rena Pei reporting.
Thursday is a big day for farmers. It's Corpus Christi, which is traditionally viewed as a day to set seeds into the ground. Corn, peas and ground provisions are among crops which are planted on the Corpus Christi holiday. Chrislina John looks ahead.
The rainy season has started and farmers are in glee as they prepare the ground for planting. A St. George's resident who has been farming for the past 40 years says now more than ever, everyone should be putting a seed in the ground. The dry season has affected his plot of seasonings, which he grows to sell to vendors. He is grateful for the rain.
I know clearly that farming is one of the most important things. As a matter of fact, it is the backbone of our economy. I could boast about it because I know that agriculture is the backbone, as I said, of our economy. And I believe that if people get involved doing farming, I think that the country as a whole would be a better country, because we will be able to feed ourselves and we wouldn't have to wait on other countries to feed us.
An employee at Cool Nursery Garden Center in Manjulu says they are now forced to mass-produce seedlings as more people are returning to back.
Due to the corona, due to COVID-19, more people have been purchasing seedlings out of backyard farmers, and even bigger. The farmers too, they go bigger right about now. They tend to plant more. So we try and push at least 5,000 seeds per week. Okay. Agriculture is the backbone of any country. So it's best to plant your own. Eat healthy and know what you're eating. The most popular plants sold right now is lettuce, cabbage, cucumbers, tomatoes and okras.
The farmers are all singing the same song.
It's very important we eat what you grow is what you provide through the land, so it's beneficial to farmers and beneficial to the people. The farming is a part of skills, and it keep you occupied and it keep you a lot of patience and a lot of hard work to there. But the moment time they are planting some short crop like melon, dasheen and tanya and potato and all different stuff and such thing like lettuce and all cabbage, short crops.
For people with little or no planting space, these farmers are encouraging recycling for planting.
Canadians, as a matter of fact, or to the farmers, that I think that they need to get more, to get themselves more equipped or more regular in the farming sector. People who doesn't have planting space, I could really introduce, I could tell them really, as we can see, that old tires, you can do it on even the paintings, you can do it with anything that you feel that you doesn't need from the kitchen or whatever, in terms of, you could use those things, put in some dust, some manure, and you plant your things, and it doesn't make a difference.
The farmer believes the period of lockdown should draw people closer to God and to each other. Without God in the midst of everything, he says it could have been worse. Christina John, GBN News.
It's a day for planting, Bev. I know that you're from Vendome in St. George, one of the areas where we have a lot of farming going on. What's happening in your plot tomorrow? What will be planted?
I'm probably going to plant corn or peas because I think it grows better up there.
But I know that your grandmother is great at seasoning, so I saw the plot there with the scythe and thyme being planted in the tires. What's your setup like?
It looks exactly like her garden. Ours is much different.
I see. Well, I'll be stopping by tomorrow and I'll be waiting on those corns, right? Make sure you stick them in the ground. While farmers blaze the garden trails tomorrow, some people may be participating in religious activities. Members of the Catholic and other conformist churches will celebrate one of the most solemn feasts on the Christian calendar. However, as we'll hear in this report, the COVID-19 virus has forced the church to eliminate the usual procession from the celebration of Corpus Christi.
Strict protocols for COVID-19 must be followed by churches wishing to reopen their doors, which, according to Bishop Clyde Harvey, all Catholics would be observing as they prepare to celebrate the Feast of Corpus Christi. This year, however, it will be done differently.
First time that we will have Corpus Christi without the Corpus Christi procession, which used to be a procession through the streets around the church and so on, with the Blessed Sacrament. And the people are claiming their faith and honoring the Lord through that procession. The idea of a procession is very much a part of the biblical narrative. People are accustomed to pilgrimage and to walking with God and so on. So it's a sign of the fact that we as Christians are called to walk with God. So every church will have to follow the guidelines, and that means fewer people will be actually in church. But we hope, well, we have a mass at 3 o'clock in the afternoon that will be broadcast from the cathedral. It's live streamed from the cathedral.
The Feast of Corpus Christi, also called Solemnity of the Most Holy Body and Blood of Christ, is a festival of the Roman Catholic Church in honor of the real presence of the body, a corpus of Jesus Christ in the Eucharist. Bishop Harvey speaks on the significance of Corpus Christi to the Catholic faith.
Well, literally it means the body of Christ, okay? So it's the solemnity of the body and blood of Jesus Christ, which is a central sacrament and a symbol of the Christian faith for Catholics. We are Christ's body. The bread and wine becomes the body of Christ for us, through which we enter into full communion with him. Right? So we are celebrating this awesome, for us it's an awesome reality that God doesn't just want to save us. I think that is very important. God doesn't just want to save us. God wants to share God's life with us. So in some Christian denominations, the emphasis is on being saved. For Catholics, the emphasis is on sharing in the very life of God, in communion with God.
Corpus Christi, a public holiday in most countries, is traditionally marked with a procession held through the streets of the parish with prayers and singing to honor the Blessed Sacrament. Christelina John, GBN News.
We take a break, but still ahead, price guarantees for cocoa farmers. Stay with us.
Attention, attention! Spice Gas makes it easy for you. This Spice Gas Retailers Network will deliver the cooking gas directly to your home. This Spice Gas bottles are lighter, cleaner, safer, explosion-proof, rust-free, translucent, allowing you to see how much gas is left in the bottle. Spice Gas bottles comes with guarantee seal. No seal, no deal. Call or WhatsApp Spice Gas now. 415-1446, 423-1446. Email sales@spicegas.net. We deliver. Spice Gas Grenada, cooking safely.
Limited joins the government and people of Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique in the fight against COVID-19. Only together we can beat this pandemic. As a corporate citizen, we have temporarily stopped the production of rum, and our focus has been on the production of a sanitizing solution to assist in the fight against this dreadful pandemic. We have commenced free distribution to the senior citizens' homes, children's homes, and other vital organizations around the country, and made this product available to you at supermarkets and pharmacies island-wide. We encourage you to please listen and obey the guidelines issued by our health authority and the Royal Grenada Police Force. Together, and only together, we can beat COVID-19.
The Esplanade Mall, something for everyone. Go on a shopping spree today and experience some magic.
Ovio.com. Sale. All the outlets, hotspot outlets. You're going to go to the Carnage, the Grenville, or the Sutter's hotspot, and you get sales and deals on all items. You can get these on potato, you can get these on saltfish, onion, garlic, mackerel, toilet paper, and we even have the currants and the raisin at $10 per pound, lowest price island-wide. So people just come down or go up or go across, but just make sure and go to hotspots.
How going on, boy?
Hey, good old things.
Hey, easy.
Yeah.
Boy, line, boy, your house looking a real good day.
Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of it, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service. Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy.
Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex or give them a call, 440-1015 or 440-1016. Or check out their website, hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
Paying is faster and easier with Flow FastPay. Use your MasterCard or Visa and pay from anywhere. Log on to discoverflow.co/fastpay and press Consumer. Select your country and enter your account number. Enter the amount to be paid and an email address. Enter your credit card information. You'll receive a payment confirmation with the transaction details, along with a receipt to your email address. It's fast, safe, and easy. Flow, keeping you connected.
Welcome back to News at 7. Cocoa farmers can breathe easy this evening. The government is trying to maintain the price paid for their harvest. They will benefit from a $2 million stimulus package. Jared Joseph has been following that story.
One specific requirement is that the association should merge operations to create greater efficiencies in the overall management structure. It forms part of the specific terms and conditions for the grant and loan support being provided by government to the two associations. Grenadian cocoa farmers are the latest to benefit, this time from a $1 million grant as well as a $1 million loan to the Grenada Cocoa Association for the purpose of providing price support payments to farmers. Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, Dr. Keith Mitchell, said the grant and loan support will help to buffer the loss of revenue caused by the association's inability to export cocoa and chocolate. Faced with an inventory build-up from the lack of support, the association is still required to buy cocoa from farmers, putting a further strain on its financial viability. Dr. Mitchell said, and I quote, "Cabinet has specifically agreed that the funds should go primarily towards maintaining current price levels for farmers to ensure that they are not further disenfranchised by the COVID-19 pandemic. However, as alluded to by the Prime Minister, the merger is a requirement to significantly reduce the cost of managing the commodity boards, thus having more cash for the interest of farmers. Government says it now will await feedback from both the GCNA and GCA on its proposals. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
And we're staying with the agricultural sector, where we find that Caribbean ministers of agriculture are exploring funding options to mitigate the effects of the pandemic. We get details on this one from GBN's Sherry and Blackman-Stevens.
The ministers and secretaries of agriculture of 14 Caribbean countries learned about funding opportunities they will be able to access to implement recovery actions in the agriculture and rural sectors to address the impact of COVID-19. Yolande Bain-Horsford, Minister of Agriculture and Lands, who participated in the video conference, gave GBN a synopsis of the meeting.
The meeting was a very good meeting between CARICOM ministers of agriculture and financial institutions, donor agencies and donor countries. This meeting was facilitated by the CARICOM Secretariat and ICA, financing the post-COVID-19 agriculture and rural recovery process, current and emerging opportunities. Ministers of the different countries spoke about their situation, what has happened since COVID-19 started, what support they have had from the government, and what immediate plans that are afoot to give immediate support to the farmers, the persons affected in the sector.
Minister Bain-Horsford told her regional colleagues that engaging in dialogue with financial agencies is very important, but submitting project proposals is what they must do to secure funding to revitalize the agriculture sector. The 9 financing agencies are offering a combination of both loans and grant funding.
We spoke about, and I in particular spoke about the bureaucracy, and in a time of COVID-19, if some of these things could be raised so as to get funding quickly to support the programs and projects that we have here in Grenada. We have had several meetings week before with different groupings, and all of it collectively to an end with this meeting.
Manuel Otero, Director General of ICA, commits to assisting Caribbean countries in implementing the Food Security Plan, which seeks to mitigate the consequences of COVID-19 in the region and increase agriculture production in the region by 25% over the next 5 years. Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
The debate on the environment versus development continues despite being overshadowed by the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. One of the areas continually discussed is the destruction of mangroves and the ecosystem at Lasages Beach. GBN's Gerard Joseph quiz environmental scientist Dr. Valma Jessamy on the alternatives to destruction during development.
To many, the unnerving picture is becoming all too frequent. The destruction of our environment, the breathtaking, beautiful landscapes in the name of development. Dr. Valma Jessamy says in her work as an environmental consultant, the issue most times is the environmental impact assessment conflicts with what the developers have planned.
It is the responsibility of our governments, or physical planning unit, or Ministry of Environment, or Fisheries Department to implement, to enforce, to monitor those recommendations that are presented in environmental impact assessments or are in our own legislation.
Most recently in March, the construction of the Six Senses Hotel by range developers was brought under the microscope. The mangroves were uprooted and the salt pond exposed, with Lasages businessman Michael Miransky claiming that the present development had compromised an agreement between government and the Organization of American States, OAS.
And the people I met from the OAS at the time told me that they were going to write into the recommend to the government that the estuary where the river comes down, I'm sure you saw that today, and the salt pond, which has a mangrove around it, that these were going to be protected areas, not for development. But
Dr. Jessamy says regional governments, including Grenada, have given freedom to developers for short-term gain instead of considering the future, where there is a lot more to lose.
Because we cannot continue doing that. Our governments, in particular Grenada, have pledged that they will protect 20% of our mangroves and marine resources. Why 20%? But even with a commitment for 20%, they have yet to identify where that 20% is.
Alternatives to sustainable development, she says, includes the Integrated Coastal Zone Management Policy for the OECS, developed in 2017.
Well, there are ways to design with nature. You can build boardwalks through a mangrove and access it. You do not have to cut it down. You can build away from the coastline and let the mangrove become a natural barrier and integrate it into your project. There are ways that you can access the sea through floating jetties and boardwalks, etc., and leave the mangroves to do what they do best.
Building with nature, the environmental scientist notes, are some of the solutions available. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Very interesting story there, and we would have to look at various angles as the days and the weeks progress. It's now time for GBN Eyesore compliments Clear Vision Eye Center.
A good eye captures all. GBN Eyesore is brought to you by Clear Vision.
You know us, but we knew. You feel at home with every visit. An experienced team offering personalized courtier service and trendy brand name lifestyle products. We're changing the vision care landscape one customer at a time. Clear Vision Eye Center. People and technology coming together to help you see the world with a clearer vision.
submitted photographs of a bushfire in the St. David Parish. The public is reminded that permission must be granted from the Royal Grenada Police Force before lighting any fires. With an increase in fires damaging property, lighting fires have been prohibited by the RGPF. You can send in your photo and video submission via WhatsApp on 405-3052 and our other social media platforms.
Keeping an eye on the weather, this is GBN. We've got you covered.
Weather for Grenada, Carriacou and Petite Martinique for tonight and the following 3 days. Generally fair, becoming partly cloudy at times with a few brief showers. Tonight's minimum temperature 25.5 degrees Celsius. Winds east-northeasterly to east-southeasterly at 8 to 18 miles per hour. Seas moderate, waves up to 4 feet in open waters. Tides high at 8 p.m. and low at 2:10 a.m. Sunrise tomorrow 5:43. Weather for Thursday, June 11th, generally fair, becoming partly cloudy at times, increasing in cloudiness during the evening with some widely scattered showers and isolated thunder showers during the night. Weather for Friday, June 12th, partly cloudy to cloudy and hazy with some widely scattered showers and the possible isolated early morning thunder showers, improving during the evening. And weather for Saturday, June 13th, partly cloudy and hazy with few brief showers and some fair spells. Stay with us, the sports is up next.
You know us, but we knew. You feel at home with every visit. An experienced team offering personalized courtier service and trendy brand name lifestyle products. Rechanging the vision care landscape one customer at a time. Clear Vision Eye Center. People and technology coming together to help you see the world with a clearer vision.
Hills and Valley Pharmacy offers both wholesale and retail pharmaceutical and over-the-counter products. We have the most competitive and affordable prices. We are the agents for Vic Plus multivitamin for healthy everyday lifestyle and Sanatogen powder. Hills and Valley Pharmacy supplies the best quality, name brand clinical products such as Rescue Oil, Bio Oil, Neutrogena, Aveeno, and Clarisil. We offer the most convenient opening hours. Our telephone numbers are 435-6904 or 6903. Remember, at Hills and Valley Pharmacy, your health is our business. We care.
Now open, Hills and Valley Medicare Center, your one-stop for medical supplies, massage therapy, physiotherapy, and an in-house physician. At Hills and Valley, your health is our business.
At Communal, we are adapting to meet the changing needs of our shareholders and members. Times are changing, and with the changing times comes a whole new way to do business. Our parents may have done their banking a different way. Communal's state-of-the-art online banking and international debit card allows members to do business with great ease. It's like literally having a branch in your very own hands. Need a loan? Apply online from the comfort of your own home anywhere in the world, and your request will be dealt with remotely. Want to transfer between your accounts or another shareholder? No wait time for transactions to update. Voila! Who needs receipts when you can receive them via e-statements on your mobile device and save the environment? Not a Communal member? You can join our family today by applying online. At Communal, we see you working hard to ensure that you save, invest, and grow. Communal. Join us today. This will be the best financial decision you have ever made. My name is Hollis Mr. Killamap, and I endorse this message.
The Grenada Distillers Limited joins the government and people of Grenada, Carriacou and Petite Martinique in the fight against COVID-19. Only together we can beat this pandemic. As a corporate citizen, we have temporarily stopped the production of rum, and our focus has been on the production of a sanitizing solution to assist in the fight against this dreadful pandemic. We have commenced free distribution to the senior citizens' homes, children's homes, and other vital organizations around the country, and made this product available to you at supermarkets and pharmacies island-wide. we encourage you to please listen and obey the guidelines issued by our health authority and the Royal Grenada Police Force. Together, and only together, we can beat COVID-19.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements? Or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 418-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Foliage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Well, good evening, sporting fans. It's time to see what's happening in the wide and wonderful world of sports. We can tell you that the West Indies team arrives in England. They're the first international sporting team to visit since the coronavirus lockdown. James Saunders is your man of sports. Let's see what he's got for us tonight.
And it's touchdown as the West Indies arrived in Manchester today to begin their historic 3-match test tour of England. They are the first international sport team to arrive in the UK since the coronavirus lockdown started in March. Vinu Nawani shares more.
With the Caribbean cricketers already in the UK, the first step has been completed. The 3-test series, originally due to begin on June 4th, starts on July 8th at biosecure venues without spectators. All 39 members of the touring party, including 25 players, tested negative for COVID-19 before taking a charter flight from Antigua to Manchester. They will be tested again as they enter quarantine at Emirates Old Trafford, where they will spend 3 weeks preparing before heading to Southampton for the first test. The second and third matches will take place at Old Trafford. Both venues have hotels on site. Captain Jason Holder says, quote, "This is a huge step forward in cricket and in sports in general. A lot has gone into the preparations for what will be a new phase in the game," unquote. The number of coronavirus deaths and confirmed cases is far higher in the UK than the Caribbean, which has caused concern. That led to Darren Bravo, Shimron Hetmeyer and Kimo Paul opting out of the tour. West Indies limited overs all-rounder Carlos Brathwaite, who will be part of the BBC Test Match special commentary team, says the statistics cause some skepticism about the tour among some players. Brathwaite says, quote, "Ultimately, everybody has been champing at the bit not only to practice but play. It was more a case of we want to play. However, we want to be sure of the health situation, and once we are sure of that, we are happy to get on the plane," unquote. The first test between England and the West Indies will be the first international cricket game played since Australia beat New Zealand behind closed doors in a one-day international at the SCG on March 13th. Vinod Nawani, TV6 Sport.
Well, while the boys have comfortably settled in, one man, well, he is uncomfortable with the selection process. Former TTCB executive member Baldat Mahabir believes that wicketkeeper batsman Nicholas Pooran, he should have been in the West Indies team in England. Mahabir thinks that the Windies should cope well in England, but he has criticized their selection policy, which he believes continues to prevent them from choosing the best team.
Former executive member of the Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board, Baldat Mahabir, does not think West Indies will have much problems coping with the English in their own backyard. He believes that they have enough time to get familiar with the conditions. He stated the pitches in the UK should not be too much bother for our players. It will be at the height of the English summer, and thus it should be fairly warm. Our team would already have been in England for near a month, so while a bit ring rusty, something they must try to minimize, I don't see the pitches being a hindrance, end quote. However, he believes that the Windies would be missing the services of wicketkeeper batsman Nicholas Pooran. He thinks that the Windies desperately needs to review their selection criteria. Baldat stated, I, among others, would have liked to see Nicholas Pooran in the squad. I am aware of CWI policy of players having to participate in the particular regional format, but that policy is archaic and outdated in these times of global franchises, the cash-rich status of many tournaments, and our own eternal struggle with financing. He continued stating, some systems must be worked out so that our limited pool of world-class players are available to represent and add value to our performances and our brand. Good luck to all the local guys and, most important, to the entire squad. End quote. Sergio Dufour, TV6 Sport.
Well, there's a new twist in the tale of the ongoing football rumble-tumble, as football's governing body has changed they have changed their lawyers in their fight against the United TTFA in the High Court. FIFA will now be using the services of M. Hamill Smith and Company, replacing Donna Denbo of the law offices of Claude Denbo. A letter from FIFA's Chief Legal and Compliance Officer, Dr. Emilio Garcia, confirmed the change, informing all parties involved. United TTFA are fighting their removal from office by FIFA, who have set up a normalization committee to replace them. William Wallace and Company are represented by New City Chambers, who filed their case in the High Court on May 18th, with a FIFA response expected next week. Well, the fallout from the George Floyd murder in Minnesota have revealed a lot of systemic racism and injustice in the U.S. and abroad, and many are speaking up and taking a stand. The latest is former national football captain Dwight York, who again questioned why there are no black coaches in top-flight English football and many of the top leagues across Europe. While speaking in the Key and Gray show, York relives his experience trying to apply for the Aston Villa job.
In the 20 years, me being a professional footballer, I remember one black masseuse. One. Nobody, not even in the backroom staff. You can't even get in. And as you know, and you both know, because I've been on this show before, I've asked to even, for an interview as a player, as a manager trying to get in. I can't even get an interview. Look at the players who has been fast forward into management with no experience whatsoever. You look at some players, even in the Premier League, been fast forward into management. You look in the Scottish League, there are players there who've been fast forward into management. But yet, when it comes to someone like myself, I've been told to go and find experience. But what experience do I need? My CV is equally as impressive as them.
Paul York said not even the assistance of former coach Sir Alex Ferguson could have helped when he applied for the Aston Villa job.
I went into his office. I told him exactly what I was trying to do as a player. He gives me some experience. He told me what I needed to do. I picked his brain. And then at the same time, he said he picked the phone up at the time and rang Villa for me to give his recommendation.
Wow.
And he's always said to me, if I need anything, a recommendation into management, he would vouch for me. Even to this day. And with him and with his help, I still can't get an interview.
Tough words. Well, welcome to Germany, where Bayer Leverkusen are into the final after beating fourth-tier side Saarbrücken 3-0. That's in the semi-final in front of an empty stadium. Well, the hosts trailed in the 11th minute as Moussa Diaby received the perfect ball and with a one-time volley gave Leverkusen the lead. What a goal that was. Lucas Alario then doubled the lead in the 19th minute after a defensive mix-up. He made no mistake. And then came the third goal in the 58th minute as Karim Bellarabi went high with this blast to put the match beyond doubt. Leverkusen will face Bayern Munich or Eintracht Frankfurt in the final on July 4th.
Good evening. Our probe around the globe begins in Barbados, where there's not too much of good news. A female crew member on the Harmony of the Seas, which is anchored off Barbados, is reported to have committed suicide while waiting to be sent back home. The incident has been confirmed by the Public Relations Office of the Barbados Police Service. Reports say that the 28-year-old assistant waitress Mariah Jackson, who was a relatively new member of staff, was last seen around 3 o'clock on Friday morning. Jackson is from the Philippines, and her family has been notified by the Royal Caribbean, the owners of the cruise ship. This has been a difficult time for crew anchored offshore around the world during the COVID-19 pandemic, as many countries closed their borders almost 3 months ago. There are reports of 8 other suicides among Royal Caribbean crew worldwide during this time, and in one attempt since the 1st of May. And we'll stay with Barbados for the time being. The police in Barbados have launched an investigation into the circumstances surrounding injuries to 2 Cuban nurses from an object which was thrown into their chartered bus on Saturday night. Ambassador to CARICOM David Comijong is suspicious about the motive behind the incident. The ambassador is quoted in a Barbados Today report as saying that the scenario is foreign to Barbadian culture, and this suggests to him that this is the work of an agent provocateur and dirty politics. Mr. Comijong believes that whoever carried out the unlawful act or whoever prompted them to do it has calculated that it would make front-page news in Barbados and outside of the country. He said, and I quote, "This does a disservice to Barbados, and whoever did it or whoever set up that person to do it is definitely not a friend of the Barbadian nation," end of quote. The ambassador said he was happy the nurses were not seriously injured by the object, which smashed one of the windows, resulting in minor injuries to 2 of the nurses who were treated at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital and released. And we're moving over now to Brazil, and we're looking at the coronavirus data. The Brazilian government has restored detailed COVID-19 data to its official national website following controversy over the removal of cumulative totals and a ruling by the Supreme Court that full information has to be reinstated. The president was accused of hiding the truth when the government took the data off its website. Al Jazeera is following that development.
Brazil has the world's 2nd highest number of coronavirus infections, but many there say, as well as a pandemic, they're also fighting an information war. After a weekend of uproar over a government decision to stop publishing official totals of the number of cases and deaths, the government is making them public again, after being ordered by the Supreme Court. But many don't feel reassured.
I am scared to death. I'm scared to death. It seems the government is hiding the truth. They're not letting the truth come out.
In my opinion, the reality is that it's all a smokescreen, like during the times of war that we had in the past. But today it is a war of information.
The government says it was trying to do the right thing.
We are looking for the real number to avoid underreporting. We never talked about overreporting. We were afraid of the underreporting.
President Jair Bolsonaro has repeatedly downplayed the outbreak and says he's now considering pulling Brazil out of the World Health Organization. He says the world body has lost its credibility.
There is a reason why the American president has left, why he stopped contributing to the WHO. Brazil will think about this as soon as this problem with the pandemic is over, to seriously think about whether or not to leave, because for us it no longer inspires confidence.
But the victims of the outbreak say politicians aren't helping people face up to the reality of the pandemic.
Our governors just keep fighting between themselves to see who's better, and they're not seeing how people are suffering.
Brazil has started easing its lockdown restrictions. But some health experts are warning that the number of infections is expected to surge, and the outbreak has yet to peak. Priyanka Gupta, Al Jazeera.
And we'll still be looking at some coronavirus data. This time we're going over to Haiti. Based on the number of cases reported over the past 48 hours, there's an average 1 new case of the coronavirus in Haiti every 7 minutes. Health authorities say the French-speaking Caribbean community country recorded nearly 500 cases during the past 48 hours. Of that, 124 new cases were reported in the last 24 hours, bringing the total to 3,662 since the first case was detected on March 19. The Ministry of Public Health said that 2 new deaths had also been reported in the west of the country, including that of a child under the age of 9. It brings the total number of deaths from the pandemic to 56. And the news this evening is dominated by COVID-19. We move over to India, where India's financial capital, Mumbai, has recorded 51,000 cases of COVID-19, taking it past the peak in Wuhan, where the virus first emerged. The news comes amid a surge of infections in India, which has more than 277,000 confirmed cases. Infections are also spiking in the capital, Delhi, where authorities have said they expect to see more than 500,000 cases by the end of July. The surge coincides with India's decision to relax restrictions after 3 months of a stringent lockdown that was intended to curb the spread of the virus. And that report out of India takes us to the end of our probe around the globe. Stay with us. When we come back, a recap of the main points in the news. Recapping the main points of the news this evening, NIS blames delinquent employers for some employees' inability to access unemployment benefits.
If you want to serve in the cabinet, be prepared to be shifted around. The word from the man sitting at the head of the cabinet table.
And Grenada's Prime Minister supports calls for justice but condemns violence and vandalism.
Street vendors told to pack up, lock up and leave, or their goods will be confiscated and they will be charged.
Local environmentalist questions whether the almighty dollar should trump environmental protection.
And cocoa farmers won't have to worry about a drop in price.
And in sports this evening, we heard the West Indies cricket players test negative for coronavirus before leaving Antigua for Manchester.
And then around the globe, suspected suicide on cruise ship docked off in Barbados.
Further afield, Mumbai overtakes Wuhan peak as India COVID-19 cases spiked.
Now, if you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online at gbn.gd or on GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. I'm Beverly Telesford.
And I'm Odette Campbell. We'll see you again on Friday. Remember, tomorrow we'll be taking a look at what's happening around the region and around the world from our sister station, TV6. Do join us then.